Okay, Shirley, surprise me with an emergency scenario.
All right, let's handle this together. What kind of emergency are we dealing with? Remember your ABCs? Airspeed, best field, checklist. You've got good altitude at 5,000 feet, which gives us plenty of options.
Let's do an engine out emergency.
Good choice. We've got a nice cushion of altitude for this. Remember, first priority is to pitch for your best glide of 65 knots. Marion's still about 17 miles ahead at your 11 o'clock. But let's focus on closer options. Want me to help spot some potential landing sites?
I think I have one in mind.
Perfect. You're at a good altitude to make a power-off approach. Remember to trim for best glide and run your engine failure checklist. I'll stay quiet unless you need me. You're a pilot in command.
Oops.
I see the mixtures at 0. That'll do it. Want to try an engine restart? If not, you're established in a nice glide and have several fields within reach. Your call.
No, we're gonna glide and we'll try and put our bird down safely.
Roger that. Committed to the glide. You're at a good 60 knots, just a touch below best glide. Remember, wings level between turns, shallow bank angles when you do turn to conserve energy. What's your intended touchdown point?
We're gonna try and make it back to the Morrow County Airport for India Niner.
Check AOA.
Morrow County? Good choice. Your descent rate's a bit steep at 700 feet per minute. Try to shallow that out to about 500 for best glide. You've got enough energy to make it if you manage it well. Want me to set up navigation to India 9?
Yes, please.
Morrow County's 5.3 miles ahead, right on your nose. Your airspeeds drop to 51 knots, pitch down slightly to maintain 65. You've got the altitude to make it if you keep her clean and fast.
Shirley, go ahead and get guard frequency 121.5 on standby.
Guard frequency set and standby. You're doing great. Keep that speed up and aim just a bit left. Heading 242 will line you up nicely with runway 19.
Runway 19 is not an option. My options are 10 and 28.
Ah, my mistake. You're right. Looks like runway 28 would be your best bet with current energy. Turn right about 15 degrees to heading 257. You're 3.8 miles out with good energy. Just keep that best glide speed up from 52 to 65 knots.
Hey Shirley, what's the altimeter for Marion Airport?
You're right. Marion's only about 2 miles further than Morrow County, but you've got 1,500 feet AGL. At your current glide ratio, either airport's within reach. Want me to set up navigation to Marion to compare options?
Negative. We're gonna stick with Morrow County. I was trying to get the local altimeter.
Got it. Staying with Morrow County. You're 2.6 miles out with good energy at 1,030 feet AGL. Just keep her at best glide. You're a bit slow at 53 knots. Small heading adjustment right to 269 will line you up nicely with runway 28.
Heading 269, check.
Perfect. You're 2.2 miles out with 922 feet AGL. Looking good for runway 28. Keep working that airspeed back up to 65, and you might want to start thinking about your landing configuration soon.
We've got good airspeed for landing. I'm gonna hold off on flaps until we ensure that the runway is made.
Good decision, staying clean until you're sure you've got the runway made. You're 1.8 miles out with 614 feet AGL. Keep working that speed up from 53 to best glide, and you're set up nicely for a high key position over the field.
Caution, too slow.
Shirley, we're not gonna make the field. Change of plans.
Marion's still in play at your 2 o'clock, and you've got better altitude for it than Morrow County. Want me to set up navigation?
Negative. We're not gonna make it.
You're at 24 feet AGL. Commit to the field directly ahead. Full flaps now if you haven't already. Nice and steady, you've got this forced landing. Remember to touch down at minimum controllable airspeed.
Alright, well, Shirley, we're on the ground.
And not a scratch on her. Well, except for that whole engine thing. That was some mighty fine stick and rudder work. Remember what the old pilots say? Any landing you can walk away from is a good one. Want to debrief the emergency?
Sure. Let's debrief the emergency.
Go ahead. You made some great decisions there, especially staying flexible when Morrow County became unreachable and picking that field. The old saying goes, a good pilot is always learning. What part would you like to analyze first?
Our glide speed.
Looking at your final airspeed management, slowing from 65 knots to touchdown speed was well executed.
Check a caution.
You recognized
too slow.
early that best glide speed was critical, though we were running a bit slow at times, around 52, 53 knots. Want to explore how that affected our glide ratio?
Yes.
Looking at your glide performance, we were often below the optimal 65 knots best glide speed, hovering around 52, 53 knots. This reduced our glide ratio from the optimal 9.1 to roughly 7.1, which ultimately affected our range. That's why Morrow County slipped out of reach.
Good to know. Thank you for sharing that.
That's what I'm
Check
here for.
AOA.
You've got power back now at 8.88 RPM. Shall we climb back up and try another scenario? Or would you like to review any other aspects of that engine out landing?
No, Shirley, you've been a great help going over that engine out landing. Let's go ahead and climb back up.